Zeus and his brothers drew lots for their share of the universe. The sea fell to Poseidon, and the underworld to Hades. Zeus became the supreme ruler. He was lord of the sky, the rain god and the cloud gatherer, who wielded the awful thunderbolt. His power was greater than that of all the other divinities together. Nevertheless, he was not omnipotent or omniscient. He could be opposed and deceived. He is represented as falling in love with one woman after another and descending to all manner of tricks to hide his infidelity from his wife. His breastplate was the aegis, awful to behold. His bird was the eagle, his tree the oak. The god's will was revealed by the rustling of the oak leaves, which the priests interpreted.
Hera is Zeus's wife. The Titans Ocean and Tethys brought her up. She is the protector of marriage, and married women are her peculiar care. She is chiefly engaged in punishing the many women Zeus falls in love with, even when they yielded only because he coerced or tricked them. It makes no difference to Hera how reluctant any of them are, or how innocent. The goddess treats them all alike. Her implacable anger follows them and their children too. She is the goddess married women turned to for help. Athena, who helped women in childbirth, is her daughter. The cow and the peacock are sacred to her.
Poseidon is the ruler of the sea, Zeus's brother, and second only to him in eminence. The Greeks on both sides of the Aegean were seamen, and the god of the sea was all important to them. His wife is Aphrodite, a granddaughter of the Titan Ocean. Poseidon has a splendid palace beneath the sea, but he is oftener to be found in Olympus. Besides being lord of the sea, he gave the first horse to man, and he was honored as much for the one as for the other. Storm and calm are under his control. He commands, and the storm wind rises, and the surges of the sea. But when he drives in his golden car over the waters, the thunder of the waves sink into stillness, and tranquil peace follows his smooth rolling wheels. He has some connection with bulls as well as with horses.
Athena is the daughter of Zeus alone. No mother bore her. Full grown and in full armor, she sprang from his head. She is warlike only to defend the state and the home from outside enemies. She is Zeus's favorite child. He trusts her to carry the awful aegis, his buckler, and his devastating weapon, the thunderbolt. Of the three virgin goddesses, she is the chief and is called the Maiden, and her temple is the Parthenon. Athena is the embodiment of wisdom, reason, purity. Athens was her special city. The olive created by her was her tree, and the owl her bird.
Apollo is the son of Zeus and Leto, born in the little island of Delos. He has been called the most Greek of all the gods. He is a beautiful figure in Greek poetry, the master musician who delights Olympus as he plays on his golden lyre, the lord too of the silver bow, the archer god, far shooting, the healer as well, who first taught men the healing art. Even more than of these good and lovely endowments, he is the god of light, in whom is no darkness at all, and so he is the god of truth. No false word ever falls from his lips. The laurel is his tree. Many creatures are sacred to him, chief among them the dolphin and the crow.
Artemis is Apollo's twin sister, daughter of Zeus and Leto. She is one of the three maiden goddesses of Olympus. She is the lady of wild things, huntsman-in-chief to the gods, an odd office for a woman. Like a good huntsman, she is careful to preserve the young. She is the protectress of dewy youth everywhere. In her is shown most vividly the uncertainty between good and evil, which is apparent in every one of the divinities. The cypress is sacred to her. and all wild animals, but especially the deer.
Hermes is the son of Zeus and Maya. He is graceful and swift of motion. Of all the gods, he is the shrewdest and most cunning. In fact, he is the master thief who started upon his career before he was a day old. The babe was born at the break of day, and before the night fell, he had stolen away Apollo's herds. Zeus made him give them back, and he won Apollo's forgiveness by presenting him with the lyre which he had just invented, making it out of a tortoise's shell. Perhaps there is some connection between that very early story of him and the fact that he is god of commerce and the market, protector of traders. In odd contrast to this idea of him, he is also the solemn guide of the dead, the divine herald who lead the souls down to their last home.
Aphrodite is the goddess of love and beauty, who beguiles all, gods and men alike, the laughter-loving goddess, who laughs sweetly or mockingly at those her wiles had conquered, the irresistible goddess who steals away even the wits of the wise. She is said to have sprung from the foam of the sea, and her name was explained as meaning the foam risen. This sea birth took place near Cythera, from where she was wafted to Cyprus. Both islands were ever after sacred to her. The myrtle is her tree, the dove her bird, and the sparrow and the swan too.
Ares is the god of war, son of Zeus and Hera. Occasionally the heroes rejoice in the delight of Ares' battle, but far oftener in having escaped the fury of the ruthless god. His sister is there, Eris, which means discord, and strife is her son. The goddess of war, Enyo, walks beside him, and with her are terror and trembling and panic. As they move, the voice of groaning arises behind them, and the earth streams with blood. His bird is the vulture. The dog is his animal.
Demeter is the goddess of the agriculture, a daughter of Cronus and Rhea. It was natural, too, that the divine power which brought forth the grain should be thought of as a goddess, not a god. When the business of men was hunting and fighting, the care of the fields belonged to the women, and as they plowed and scattered the seed and reaped the harvest, they felt that a woman divinity could best understand and help woman's work. Through her, the field of grain was hallowed. Her chief festival, of course, came at the harvest time. Demeter has an only daughter, Persephone, the maiden of the spring. She lost her, and in her terrible grief, she withheld her gifts from the earth, which turned into a frozen desert.
Hephaestus is the god of fire, said to be the son of Hera alone, who bore him in retaliation for Zeus's having brought forth Athena. Among the perfectly beautiful immortals, he only is ugly. He is lame as well. He is highly honored in Olympus, the workmen of the immortals, their armorer and smith, who makes their dwellings and their furnishings as well as their weapons. In his workshop he has handmaidens he has forged out of gold who can move, and who help him in his work. He was a kindly, peace-loving god, popular on earth as in heaven. When children were formally admitted to the city organization, the god of the ceremony was Hephaestus.
Hestia is Zeus's sister, and like Athena and Artemis, a virgin goddess. She is the goddess of the hearth, the symbol of the home around which the newborn child must be carried before it could be received into the family. Every meal began and ended with an offering to her. Each city, too, had a public hearth sacred to Hestia, where the fire was never allowed to go out. If a colony was to be founded, the colonists carried with them coals from the hearth of the mother city with which to kindle the fire on the new city's hearth.